slideshow inside After Effects. If you guys have a plan to make openers or intros or other graphic motions and animations, I think these techniques are good for you, okay? So now we are here inside After Effects. All I have to do is to create a couple of compositions. First, I will go to composition and I will create a new composition and I will name it scene 1. 1920 by 1080p, 30 frames per second, and the duration is 7 seconds. Click OK, and I will go again to composition and create a new composition and I will name it media 1. Same 1920 by 1080p, 30 frames per second, and 7 seconds duration. I will go back again to composition and create another new one and I will name it IV or image and video placeholders. Click OK, and for the last one I'm gonna make a new composition and I will name it text placeholder 1. Now grab your text tool and type rands, but you can type whatever text you want, okay? And the color is still just like this, and I will just align it to the center. And now I will duplicate this layer, highlight both again, and press P on my keyboard for the position. I'll just drag it down so I can see, and then change the font here from Gotham black to Gotham thin, and change the text here graphics. And change the color to orange. Highlight it again and drag it down. Make sure that you don't highlight one of these layers, and all you have to do is to grab your shape tool, draw a shape like this, and drag it down at the bottom so you can see the text. Align it. Open placeholder 1, go to assets, go to photos, and drag this JPEG 1 to your timeline. Open media 1 and drag down this IV placeholder 1 to your timeline and duplicate it and change the name of this bottom. I will probably name it BG, and the above composition I will rename it as IBP mask 1. IBP meaning image or videos placeholder, okay? Highlight this composition and grab your pen tool and create a mask. And then go to effects and preset, go to perspective drop shadow. I will change this distance to 0 and the softness probably 130. Change the color of the shadow, dark green. And I will animate it by creating a keyframes on the path and the scale. So open this mask and also the transform. Create a keyframe by hitting this stopwatch here, and also the mask path. And then move forward my player to about at the end of my timeline, and I will change this path. I will move back my playhead at the beginning of the timeline and change the scale to 103. So when we scrub our playhead, let's see. There you go, there's a slight movement on our mask. So I will close this and again duplicate this IB mask. Grab my pen tool, make sure that this mask is highlighted and change the shape of this mask. Expand the IBP mask too and expand the mask and the transform so that we can change the animation in here. So I will change the scale here from 103 to 105 and then move my playhead at the end of my timeline, and I will change this path. So if we will scrub our playhead, this is the animation of our mask. I will change the softness here to probably 25 and I will change the color to black. So we'll close it again and I will duplicate this IBP mask too. Make sure that this composition is highlighted again and change the shape of the mask here like this. Expand this composition, expand the mask and the transform. Change the animation here. I will move forward my playhead to about 1 second and I will change this shape mask. Just wanted to change it like this and make a keyframe on the path. Change the scale here to 100% and highlight these two keyframes and right click your mouse, go to keyframe assistant and easy exit. Move your playhead forward to about at the end of the timeline and change the position of your shape. Highlight it again and reshape it. I want the shape to be like this. The value of the softness and the color of the shadow are the same. So if we will scrub our playhead, this is the animation that we made. So I will close again this one. I will duplicate it again for the 4th time and change the shape of the mask here. Expand again this composition, expand the mask and also the transform. So all you have to do is to change the animation of this one, expand the mask here and go to 1 second duration. Highlight this keyframe and delete it, and then I will move this keyframe at the end of my timeline. No need to add, change or delete any keyframes in here. The configuration of the drop shadow are the same, so close this mask, go to my project panel and drop down this text placeholder one on my timeline. We'll move my playhead back at the beginning, go to effects and preset, go to distort, displacement map. I will change the horizontal displacement map to about 100. Hit this stopwatch in here to create a keyframe and move my playhead to about 1 second and change this to 0. So we have a little bit of distortion here. So now I'm gonna go back to my project panel and open the footage and drop down this particle. I will also drop down this leak and also the color leak too. I will highlight the RJ color leak one, press T on my keyboard for the opacity and change this to 40%. And also right click my mouse and transform it fit to comp. And also the RG particle, I will change the blending mode to add. Highlight again the color leak 2 and right click my mouse, transform fit to comp. And I will change the blending mode to add. The RG leak 1, change the blending mode to add. I will go back to my project panel, go to footage, drop down this dot line footage into my timeline and change the blending mode to add. Press T on our keyboard for the opacity and change the opacity to about 30%. And then I will go to the layer and create a new solid. I will name it fade in. Click OK. Move it up. I will move my playhead to about 15 frames. Split this layer. Delete the unused one. Press T for the opacity on your keyboard and I will change the opacity. Click the stopwatch in here and change this to 0. And then move your playhead at the beginning of your timeline and change it to 100%. So when we scrub our playhead, nice. First close this footage and also these photos, assets, the solids. Then I will toggle the switch modes in here, enable some of the compositions in here. Like this mask, I want it 3D layers including the BG. Also I will enable the motion blur. Color leak, I will enable the 3D layer and then I will enable the motion blur on the RG particles. I will enable the text layer 3D. I think that's it. So it's time for me to make a camera. Go to layer, make a camera. I'm using 2-node 50mm preset camera. Click OK and I will go back to layer, create a null object. And I want this null object a 3D layer and parent the camera to the null object. Make sure that your playhead is at the beginning of your timeline. Expand your null object 1, open transform, create a keyframe on the Y rotation to animate it, Z rotation and the position. Move your playhead to about 1 second, change the Y rotation to 2, change the X position to 0, the Y position change it to -10.1 and the Z position change it to 399.2. Go your playhead to about the end of your timeline and change this Y rotation to 2 and the Z rotation change it to -2. Then go to layer, create a new null object, make it a 3D layer and parent this null object 1 to the null object 2. Close this one, open the null object 2 and open the transform. Make sure that your playhead is at the beginning. Make a keyframe on the position, Y rotation and Z rotation. Move your playhead at the end of your timeline and change the position here to 1088.9. The Z position change it to 1706.2. Go to layer, create a new adjustment layer. Go to effects and preset and find distort and then optics compensation. Move your playhead at the beginning, change the field of view to 150. Hit stopwatch here to create a keyframe and check this reverse lens distortion. Then move your playhead to about 1 second and change this to about 60, and move your playhead to about 6 seconds and 10 frames, and change this value here in the field of view to about 78. Move your playhead at the end of the timeline and change this field of view to about 150 again. And go back to null object 1 and see if the position is right. Move your playhead back to this keyframe and check the position if it's okay. Nope, we have to change this to negative 10.1. And this 960 here, negative, change it to 0. There you go. If we will scrub our playhead, I will also go back to null object 2 and change this Z position, which is 1706.2 to 1200. Let's see. So we're good. I will close these ones. I will also enable the motion blur in here. Go to scene 1, open it up, go to my project panel and highlight this media 1. Drag it down to my timeline. Go to the shape tool, grab it, double click it to create a mask. Go your playhead to about 6 seconds and 10 frames. And hit the stopwatch to create a keyframe. And move forward your playhead to about the end of the timeline and make this shape on the other side. So if we will scrub our playhead, that here, boom. So now I will highlight this one again and duplicate it. And close this one. I will create another shape mask in here. Enable the title action safe and move this shape here. Now I will duplicate this composition, go to edit, duplicate it, and I will change the shape here. So all I have to do is to click U on your keyboard for the keyframe to show up, and I will create a keyframe at the beginning of my timeline. So here I would like to move this on this side. And then move forward to about 1 second. I will edit the path to about here. Click this arrow and I will change this shape again. I want to edit it the path like here. Like that, and I will move my playhead again to the end of my timeline. I will edit this again here. So if we will scrub our playhead, this is what happens. I will again duplicate this composition for the third time. Close this one. Click Q on my keyboard to see the keyframes. This time we don't do anything in here to change the shape or the animation. All we have to do is to go to effects and preset, generate, and add a stroke, and make the stroke probably just 2, it's okay. And go to effects and preset again, go to perspective and drop shadow, and change the drop shadow here to about probably 25. Make the distance 0. I want to copy this drop shadow to other compositions that we have here at the bottom. So I will right click my mouse, copy it, highlight the media 1 here, and edit, paste it. Also this one here, go to edit and paste it. So let's try to play. Nice. Before I end up this tutorial guys, I want you to know that you are free to tweak the effects and preset in here anytime you want, and if you want to add some more scenes on it, it's up to you. So everything in here is just the purpose of tutorial, but at the end it's up really to you guys. Okay, so our tutorial is done and I hope you enjoy and learn from it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and even share, and don't forget to press the notification bell so that in the days ahead you will be notified if I have videos uploaded. My thoughts for today guys is that learn and grow. Thank you very much guys for watching and see you next time. God bless.